Easy and Slow Storytelling with Amancio Ortega. For a long time, fashion followed a predictable rhythm. Designers imagined, factories produced, retailers waited, seasons passed slowly, trends arrived late. Amancio Ortega looked at this system and decided it made no sense. To most consumers, ZARA feels fast, affordable, stylish, always changing. But behind that speed is not chaos. It is one of the most disciplined business systems ever built. And it began with a man who avoided attention entirely. Amancio Ortega never wanted to be famous. He avoided interviews. He avoided speeches. He avoided being seen. For years, many people did not know what he looked like. That was not modesty alone. It was strategy. Ortega believed focus disappears when ego grows. And fashion punishes distraction. So he stayed invisible and watched everything. Amancio Ortega was born in Spain in 1936. He grew up poor. His father worked on the railways. Money was always tight. As a child, Ortega saw his mother turned away from a shop, unable to buy what she needed. That moment stayed with him. Clothing was not art to him. It was access. He left school early, worked in clothing shops, factories, warehouses. He learned fabric, fit, cost, timing, not from books, but from repetition, from mistakes, from observation. Ortega did not start as a designer. He started as a manufacturer, producing garments for others, fulfilling orders, meeting deadlines, watching how delays destroyed value, and how unsold inventory killed margins. Traditional fashion planned far ahead. 6 months, 9 months, a year. Designers guessed what people might want. Factories committed. Stores waited. If guesses were wrong, discounts followed. Waste followed. Ortega saw gambling disguised as creativity. His insight was simple. Do not predict demand. Observe it, and respond faster than anyone else. That idea sounds obvious now. It was radical then. ZARA was built backward. Stores were not the end. They were the beginning. Sales data, customer behavior, store managers' feedback. Everything flowed back to headquarters. Designers did not dictate. They listened. If customers reacted to a shape, a color, a cut, factories adjusted immediately. Small batches, frequent updates, limited quantities, scarcity by design, not marketing, execution. Speed replaced forecasting. Weeks instead of months. Days instead of weeks. Design, production, distribution, all tightly integrated, all controlled internally, not outsourced blindly, not optimized for cost alone, optimized for time. This was expensive. Owning factories, owning logistics, owning distribution. Wall Street would have rejected it. Consultants would have warned against it. Ortega ignored them. He trusted operational control over theoretical efficiency. ZARA did not advertise heavily. Stores were the marketing. Prime locations. Frequent change. If you did not buy today, it would be gone tomorrow. Customers learned this behavior. They visited more often. They bought faster. Inventory risk dropped. Fashion became a conversation, not a broadcast. Designers watched customers. Customers unknowingly guided designers. This feedback loop became Inditex's core advantage. Not branding, not celebrity endorsements, but responsiveness. While luxury brands chased image, and fast fashion competitors chased cost, Ortega chased speed with control. That balance was difficult to copy, because it required discipline across every layer, and patience to build it. As Inditex expanded globally, the model stayed consistent. Standardized systems, centralized decision-making, local feedback, minimal hierarchy. Ortega disliked bureaucracy. He believed layers slow truth. So information flowed directly. Employees were empowered but monitored. Creativity existed, but within strict constraints. No indulgence. No overdesign. Fashion was treated as a service, not a statement. This philosophy shaped pricing. Affordable, not cheap. Margins were protected by efficiency, not by markups. Unsold inventory was minimized. Discounts were controlled. The system absorbed shocks better than rivals. Amancio Ortega rarely spoke about vision. He spoke about stores, about how garments hang, about how customers move, about lighting, about logistics timing. He obsessed over details others ignored. Because details determined speed, his wealth grew quietly. Inditex became one of the largest fashion retailers in the world. ZARA expanded everywhere. Yet Ortega remained private. No flamboyance. No lifestyle branding. He dressed simply, worked routinely, observed constantly. Critics accuse fast fashion of waste, environmental damage, labor concerns, disposable culture. These criticisms are valid and unavoidable at scale. Ortega's model optimized speed, not sustainability, and the world has changed. Inditex now faces pressure to slow down, to reuse, to recycle, to prove responsibility. Speed must coexist with restraint. That is a harder problem. One Ortega anticipated late, but could not fully solve early. Still, his contribution is undeniable. He rewrote how fashion operates. From intuition to information. From prediction to reaction. From seasonal theater to continuous flow. The real lesson of Amancio Ortega is not about clothes. It is about systems. He proved that advantage comes from feedback speed. From owning the loop. From reducing the distance between signal and action. Most companies ask what customers will want. Ortega asked something simpler. What do they want right now? And how fast can we respond? That question built an empire. Quietly, relentlessly, without spectacle, without mythology, only execution. The open question now is sustainability. Can this model evolve without losing its core? Can speed coexist with responsibility? Can fashion slow down without breaking the loop? Amancio Ortega built a machine for responsiveness. The future will test whether that machine can adapt. Not by moving faster, but by learning when to pause. And that may be the hardest transition of all.